we'll go ahead and get started with our presentation today. If you want to go to the next slide, Sam, I will start it off here with just some quick introductions. My name is Maria Thompson. I am the digital marketing specialist at DB Services. I will be moderating today's webinar and guiding our Q&A session at the end. I will also be sending through a few polls throughout the presentation, so be on the lookout for those. Just a little bit about DB Services before we get started here. We are a Claris Platinum Partner and a FileMaker Growth Partner of the Year for 7 years in a row. We've worked with hundreds of clients, large and small, to develop efficient, low-code custom apps. Our mission is to make organizations more efficient and effective through digital transformations while offering superior service and exceptional expertise. And with that, I will turn it over to Sam.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. My name is Sam Gallagher. I'm a senior technical consultant here at DB Services. I live and work in Indianapolis, Indiana. Saw a few people in the chat today are from Indy. That's where DB Services is based, so I'm coming from our office here. I grew up about an hour south of here in Bloomington, Indiana. For those unaware, that's the home of Indiana University. Even if you didn't attend, you're likely familiar with at least their football team this past year. When I'm not working at DB, I like to stay active. I run and bike whenever I can. Natalie. And I'll tell you that I like golf, but if you ever play with me and I've shanked my 4th consecutive ball into the woods, I might tell you differently. But I'm also involved with a local organization here, a school here in Indianapolis, middle and elementary school, where I help coach their youth robotics team. If you are familiar with Vex Robotics or really any other student robotics program, I'd love to talk to you about it. It's a really awesome program that I was lucky enough to be a part of as a student, and I'm even more fortunate that I get to continue working with it as I've transitioned into a career here. And we have a really great program in Indiana. If any of you are from here, I think one of the largest in the country. But you all came here to talk about FM Agent today. So to give a brief overview of what we're going to go through today. First, we want to share some challenges that we've seen our partners encounter when trying to implement AI into their solutions. This will help inform some inspirations and goals for FM Agent and this project. And then we actually want to introduce the product to you, FM Agent. We want to show you what it can do. And then we are going to demo some really unique capabilities for that FM Agent has in your FileMaker solution, that even if you're really versed in how FileMaker works and the modality of FileMaker, FM Agent is still a really great thing for you to try. And I will spoil the end a little bit here. The ultimate call to action today is for everyone to go download FM Agent from our site, install it into their FileMaker system. It's a non-technical install, should only take a few minutes, and all for free. So hopefully I don't get in too much trouble for spoiling it here, but it's a project we're really excited about here at DB. I'm really excited about as someone who got to work on it. All right, so we will jump into it here. If you are a FileMaker developer, or even if you're not a FileMaker developer and you are just caught up on Claris news, you know that Claris has introduced some really great features in the last couple of versions that make AI integration much easier in FileMaker solutions. As a FileMaker developer myself, I really appreciate those changes, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have a similar experience. But there's still a problem presented for normal FileMaker users, which is you still need to be a FileMaker developer or have a relationship with one to take advantage of those changes. They're not plug and play. They're tools as part of a larger integration. And even if you do understand FileMaker development or are more technically minded, technical knowledge often isn't enough with these newer AI tools. They're different enough from the normal development process, and they're frankly so new that you often need someone who's an expert in AI implementation specifically to really deliver something that is more than just a technical demo or a toy. Something that's going to provide real value really requires an expert. A lot of the partners that we talk to are also concerned that they're going to have to redesign their existing database to take advantage of these new tools, and are confused about how an agent might access their data. But by and large, the biggest thing we see from our customers and our partners is that they just don't know where to start. a lot of them, a lot of our partners that are curious about AI have a FileMaker system that's really powerful and has a lot of data that is specific to their business, and use AI tools outside of FileMaker to level up their work in a way that me and a lot of you out there have seen. But combining those two is still really a white whale for a lot of the people that we talk to. So that being said, we built FM Agent to help alleviate some of those problems. We wanted something that was going to allow you to access your data in FileMaker without understanding some of the technical ins and outs, how tables, fields, scripts, relationships are structured. We also know that the modality of FileMaker, the way you find data, is often not intuitive for newer users. So we wanted something that's going to help you increase buy-in in your organizations and help people that are not just new to FileMaker but new to your app specifically. But ultimately, the main goal was just to build a tool that's going to help you revolutionize your work with AI the same way we all have done in tools outside of FileMaker, right within FileMaker. So the core tenets for this project, you'll hear this a lot today. We wanted to deliver something as close to an "it just works" solution for AI and FileMaker as possible. We wanted something that didn't require technical knowledge of FileMaker development or AI prompt engineering, and that includes installation. And finally, we wanted something that's going to work with your existing FileMaker architecture. All of the things I mentioned before are useless if you that still have to engage a developer to go and redesign your entire database to actually make FM Agent work. So that being said, I think Maria has a poll.
I do. Okay. So we'll go ahead and launch our first poll here. Um, what is your experience with FileMaker? So we've got like a few different options here. Please just let us know. I will let this run for a few minutes, let everybody get their answers in, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. Um, and then we will come back and talk about the results in just a few minutes.
Awesome. So at this point, we want to introduce FM Agent to you. FM Agent is an add-on that embeds itself directly into your FileMaker system and allows you to get a natural language data retrieval directly out of your FileMaker data. The install is non-technical and very brief. You can access our documentation to get instructions there. That'll be on fmagent.com or docs.fmagent.com. And it's really something that we feel you can start using today. And like I mentioned before, we'll talk about this later. You can start for free. If you're using AI tools outside of FileMaker, you shouldn't have any real large transition to start using FM Agent. We've intentionally made the interface familiar with platforms that are like Claude and ChatGPT. So if you or any of your organizational users use those tools, FM Agent is going to be really familiar. And Maria, do you have poll results?
I do. So it looks like about 65% of people are an existing developer of FileMaker. 35% are existing users of FileMaker. And then 1% is new to FileMaker. So it's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of developers out there. So if you're a developer, we encourage you to go download FM Agent, and you can really use it as a starting off point on how you might want to use AI in FileMaker, and a lot of non-developers out there too. Like we mentioned before, this is a product that you can use as well. So we encourage you to stick around, and we have some demos here in a second to show you what it's capable of. Like I mentioned before, FM Agent is primarily a natural language data retrieval engine. You don't need to know the technical ins and outs of your FileMaker solution. You don't need to understand the relationships or the tables or field names. And even if you are more technically minded, FM Agent helps you access certain data that in ways that is typically pretty hard with FileMaker finds. Some examples might be things like averages over time that might be hard without adding additional capabilities to your FileMaker app. Or things like charting. Charting is possible in FileMaker, but it requires some additional information it requires you to create additional features in your FileMaker application. If you're just running a one-off report or you just want to see data briefly, it's probably not worth you investing that development time. So FM Agent can get that for you pretty instantly, which you'll see here in just a minute. It understands your existing FileMaker schema, and there are options for you to improve that understanding of your FileMaker schema within the app, and it maintains context within conversations so that you can follow logical threads, really surface problems in your data before they become larger issues. Maria has another poll for us here. Oh, you're muted, Maria.
Sorry, I lost my Zoom window here, but there we go. So the next poll here is, do you currently use any kind of AI with your FileMaker? Um, and again, we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. Um, and I will be back with the results in just a few minutes.
Awesome. All right. One thing that we're really excited about for FM Agent is that it's free to use by default. We're not collecting any billing details up front. You don't even need to provide us an API key. The free tier is designed for experimentation and some light use, really just to get your feet wet in AI and FileMaker. But of course, we have an upgrade path for users and organizations that need more usage or more power. There's no risk to try. The free tier is really a great way to get buy-in on the tool and validate it in your FileMaker system. And like we've mentioned a few times at this point, the setup is very easy. Only one admin in your FileMaker app needs to set up FM Agent, and then all of the users of your app, if it's hosted, are able to take advantage of it using the account that your admin set up. So all that is stuff that's really exciting. And here's just a quick summary of our pricing model. Like you see here, we have a free tier, we have a premium tier that gives you a lot more usage and more data that you can sync with FM Agent. And if you have any need for additional FileMaker needs, development, licensing, anything else, you can bundle FM Agent with those services to access it at a reduced price. Maria, do you have those poll results?
I do. Okay, so again, the poll was, do you currently use any kind of AI with your FileMaker app? We had about 25% of people saying yes, about 75% of people saying no, and then just a few people saying they're not sure. So that's great. People are already kind of using AI a little bit, and they can take it to the next level with this.
Yeah, and those of you that aren't, FM Agent is a great starting point for AI. It's an easy setup and doesn't take development resources on your part. All right. We know anytime you bring in any application, but especially an AI application into your data and your FileMaker application, data security is a big concern and justifiably so. So we just wanted to take a moment to address that. Like any AI tool you use in FileMaker, we do sync some of your database schema, not your record data, some of your database schema to the agent, and that's just to allow the agent to know where your data lives and to effectively query it. No record data is persisted outside of your FileMaker application unless it's explicitly included in a user request prompt or an AI response. That being said, you can opt out of all chat storage within the setup process. So you get some additional features. Like I said, you can revisit threads over time if you stay opted into chat storage, but we know that that's a concern for some parties, so that is an option you have. Admins also have the ability to just delete all data associated with FM Agent within the FM Agent setup interface. Data is never used for training of FM Agent or any models. And of course, we have an option for you to explicitly request that any data be deleted by visiting dbservices.com/contact. And we're just a few seconds away from a demo of FM Agent, but we just want to outline what FM Agent is not. This is not a technical demo like some of the things that you've seen on our site. This is something you can download and start using in your production database today if you're so inclined. We also just want to outline this is not a developer copilot at this point. This is not going to help you create layouts or write scripts. This is mainly for natural language data retrieval. So with that, we will move on to a demo here. So if you give me a couple seconds just to get my windows moved around, we can begin that. All right. Okay. So I have a FileMaker system that I've installed FM Agent into. This is actually FM Quick Start. This is a free CRM starter template that we release as DB services. We are releasing a new version here in the coming weeks that will have FM Agent pre-bundled into it, but this is just a good platform to show a typical system and with some sample data that we've imported. I will open FM Agent here. When you install FM Agent, you can access it a couple different ways. The main way is that it adds a script in your scripts menu called FM Agent to open the chat window. So I'll go to scripts and then FM Agent. So we'll load this up here. You can see the interface is very familiar to what you've seen with something like ChatGPT or Claude or any of these other conversational AI apps. One thing I'll show you just to show you what data I've configured FM Agent to have access to, I can just ask the agent. And this is also something that can be a good refresher if you're using the product. So what data can you access? So it's going to tell me it has access to companies, contacts, orders, order line items, and products. So to showcase some of the spots where FM Agent really shines, we'll go through a couple of different scenarios here. First, we want to show you data visualization and mass summarization. So I have some companies and contacts imported into this database, and it's something I've configured FM Agent to be able to access. So I can say chart my companies by price tier. Give it a couple seconds to collect the required data. And then you'll see it does a couple things. One, it gives me a visualization of the companies for price tier. It looks like we have a plurality retail along with, and the rest being distributor and OEM companies. And then it breaks them down in a text response here. So given that my chat context is saved, I can kind of drill down a little bit more into this data. So and an important thing to note here is usually you'd have to run multiple finds to find this data or include something like a summary field or report to get data, this type of data this quickly. Let's see, I can type, let's say I want to look at specifically my OEM customers. So I can say, what is the average order total for OEM companies? So again, it'll pull that data. An important note about this query is that it's going across tables. So customers have related orders, and FM Agent is able to understand that I'm talking about customers and how those relate to orders, and it can go and actually pull me the data that I'm looking for. So it looks like the average order total for OEM customers is $13,756, and it even provides me additional information. There were almost 300 OEM customers. Now let's do something a little bit more complex. Let's say I want to compare aggregate data from two of these groups. So I can say, do OEM customers or distributors cancel orders more often? Again, we'll give it some time to collect the required data. And it's using the two of those summaries that we saw earlier to gather this information. So it shows that distributors cancel slightly more often, and it even gives me the breakdown on how it found it if I wanted to go and verify that data. So it looks like 51 out of 296 total orders are canceled on the OEM side, and distributors about the same percentage, just a little bit more, 99 out of 562. We can also show that FM Agent is also really good at understanding maybe some more casual or subjective requests and then applying that to your data. So if we create a new thread here just to refresh the context, and I say something that doesn't necessarily refer to fields in the database, I can say, for instance, which customers owe us money? And this is going to come is likely going to come from the order table or this information. So FM Agent is going to understand that I'm looking for outstanding orders, and it's going to provide me a list of those customers. As you can see in the sample data here, we have quite a few of those. It's because it's looking for any order with an outstanding amount. Might actually be all of them the way I've set up this this sample data, but But you see it's and it'll probably give us an explanation for how it did that. So. Let's say I wanted to drill down into just one of these customers. So let's say I wanted to look at Taylor LLC. I can continue just without referring to specific labels of data in the database. I can say, can you help me write a statement for Taylor LLC? So like you've seen with other AI tools, um, it understands some of my language, even if I haven't explicitly taught it. So it should know what I mean by a statement, and it's going to go retrieve the required order data from Taylor LLC's orders. So it's going to give me a total amount due, and then it understands that I want to outline each individual order by me saying that I want a statement. It also provides me with a sample email I could use to attach. Um, and then another good thing we can show for FM Agent is we can maybe try to drill down into a real world problem you might have with your data. So I know we also have product data in this database. So I can say something as simple as which product has sold the most? And it's a little bit of a vague question, but we'll see what it returns here. Yep. So it's giving it to me by unit sold. It's the safety glasses. Clear is the product that we have. And now let's look at something, maybe the reverse of that problem. So which product is canceled the most? So what I'm looking for here is which products were on orders that were canceled the most. And it looks like it's the pipe elbow 90-degree product. It's on 28 canceled line items for orders in this database. Um, and I can even drill down further into that data and say how much revenue was lost on cancellation of that item. And again, this also shows how it can understand data across tables and return results that help you surface problems or help you solve different processes in your organization. So you see, just for this product, we've lost $42,000 on canceled orders. So maybe that indicates that we have a larger problem with canceled orders. So we'll go back to maybe a visualization problem. Can you chart my orders by status? You can see here, it'll give me a visualization of the different statuses my orders are in. And maybe this helps me realize, oh, we're getting a lot of canceled items. And it looks like this item is a main culprit for what's being canceled. So you can see here how this really lets you surface data from your FileMaker app really quickly without having to invest in specific reporting or summaries. It's great for one-off reporting where you may never ask the question again, or you're trying to solve a very time-sensitive issue. So we will briefly go back to the presentation here. All right. So like we mentioned earlier, you can download and use the file that I was just demoing there for free right now by visiting fmagent.com to download the add-on. The installation instructions are available in the actual download file that you'll get. You'll get video instructions. You can also visit docs.fmagent.com. That's also linked in your download file to get some text-based instructions. And that site also has a lot of great resources as far as if you need help with data annotation or troubleshooting, or you just need help with the setup and configuration. Our documentation site has a lot of great information there. The install should only take minutes using a standard FileMaker add-on workflow if you've ever used a FileMaker add-on before. And of course, if you have any questions or need any support, please feel free to reach out. Scan that QR code. That'll be on the presentation a little bit later, but that QR code will just take you directly to fmagent.com. All right. I want to take a second here to zoom out before we get to the Q&A here. So what we covered today is it's not just about FM Agent or that specific tool. It's about organizations that are like growing and feeling friction in their systems or hitting limits to the platforms they're relying on. So what we just demoed is a great way for organizations that need better reporting or automation or don't know where to start with AI automation. But you may also have problems where you have a FileMaker solution that started small and now it's grown to be critical in your organization. You're juggling legacy systems or spreadsheets, or you're the tools that you are using are starting to strain as you scale. We have those types of conversations every day. So if you're in FileMaker, we are a 7-year Growth Partner of the Year award winner. Most of the organizations we work with are SMBs that rely on FileMaker day to day. And that includes types of companies like field service companies, medical and legal practices, educational institutions, printing and manufacturing companies, and those are just to name a few. We offer FileMaker development services, licensing, hosting, and really modernization and paying off technical debt in your FileMaker system, along with increasingly custom AI integrations. Uh, some organizations' needs go beyond FileMaker, so we have a dedicated web team here at DB Services that can help you build a web app for your FileMaker application or beyond your FileMaker application if that's needed. You might need a customer portal for customers to access specific data. You might need vendors to be able to drop things directly into FileMaker without needing access to FileMaker, or you may need a mobile interface for your field technicians. Like I said, we build custom integrations that work directly with FileMaker or beyond FileMaker. And we're also a Salesforce partner. We work extensively with nonprofit cloud. We serve educational institutions, SMBs in general, and mission-driven nonprofits. If you need a new Salesforce implementation or optimizing your existing one, we're happy to have those conversations. So. And if you have any needs for a specific AI implementation or just FileMaker needs in general, feel free to scan this QR code and schedule a specific consultation with me. I'm happy to talk about any of those problems or your ideas for AI implementation in FileMaker. And if you download FM Agent and start to use it, we do have office hours on Thursdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. That's just where you'll hop in a Zoom meeting with me and some other FM Agent developers, and we can help you out if you need any support or have any issues. You can access that link on fmagent.com/pricing. That's also on our documentation site, docs.fmagent.com. All right. And like I said, ultimately, we really just want you to go download FM Agent and try it. So this is the same QR code from before. This will take you to the FM Agent site. So we look forward to everyone downloading the product and letting us know how you fare.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sam. We have a ton of questions, so we will do our best to get to them all. Hopefully that 404 error is fixed. Not sure what happened with that, but I think that is fixed. If not, we've got somebody testing and working on that, so apologies for that. Hopefully we will get that all cleared up and make sure everybody is able to get that download if they want it. So, and if I know I see a few questions in the chat about this, to download FM Agent, you can go to fmagent.com, or you can scan this QR code here and it will take you to the site. Okay, so let's see. So our first question here is, are there any data models where FM Agent is not ideal?
There are. So if you have tables in your FileMaker file that are general use and aren't, it's not very well siloed data, FM Agent can have some trouble with that. That being said, we have some tools within the FM Agent tool itself that help you kind of imbue some understanding of your data model into FM Agent. So on the setup page, you have the ability to explain to FM Agent what certain tables or fields do and trim data so that clarity is better for the agent. So there are some data models that might see some trouble initially, but we've implemented some tools in FM Agent itself to help with that. All to sum it up.
Okay. What is the largest data set you have tested this with?
We've tested it on systems like our internal one that have hundreds of thousands of records. So performance is a concern. So performance was a priority for FM Agent, and so as you saw in the demo today, it has the potential to be pretty snappy in terms of retrieving data. That being said, we're not going to be faster than your FileMaker app. So if you have some technical debt that's causing performance issues or some other performance issues already existing in FileMaker, we're not going to be faster than that. So that being said, if you do have those issues, we'd encourage you to contact us about um, doing a FileMaker health checkup and maybe paying off some technical debt. And that is not going to help just for FM Agent, but for anything else you try to do in FileMaker.
Awesome. Okay. And I am seeing a lot of people say that it's taking a while to get their download. We do send those download emails through a third-party service. And I know like a ton of people are trying to download right now, so it may take a little bit for you to get your download. We're sorry if it's taking a long time. I think the system is just overwhelmed because we have a ton of people trying to download right now. So we apologize for that. Please be patient. You will get it. If you do not get it by the end of this webinar, please get in contact with us. We will get that to you. We don't want you to not get that download. So I've got some people on my team working to make sure that everybody is able to not not have that 404 issue that people were having, and making sure that people are going to get those downloads. So you will get your download. Okay, next question here. Does FM Agent work with standalone FileMaker on Macs, or does it require FileMaker server?
It'll work in both scenarios. So if you have a hosted FileMaker file, you can install the plugin and use it there. And then anyone that connects to that hosted FileMaker file can take advantage of FM Agent. But also, if you have a standalone FileMaker app locally, FM Agent will also work in that scenario.
Okay. Next question here. What versions of FM client are supported? Um,
Yeah. Uh,
like example was like 20.3.
yeah, that's on our documentation site. I believe the minimum required version is 20.1. That being said, we always encourage you to be on the most updated version of FileMaker you're capable of being on. But if it's a hosted file, you'll also need to be on server 20.1 as well. So the absolute minimum is 20.1, but yeah, we encourage you to be on a more updated version if you're capable.
Okay. Do you need any additional licensing from Claris for this?
No, this is all going to be covered under your standard FileMaker license. This is just an add-on module for FileMaker. So your standard FileMaker license will do.
Okay. This is a question about confidentiality issues with like healthcare providers, law offices, HIPAA, confidential information. What are the best practices on this front?
So we'd encourage you to look at our documentation site. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you and your organization to make sure you're compliant with those regulations. I don't know off the top of my head what the requirements are there, but if you have specific questions, I'd encourage you to schedule a meeting with me, and we can talk about what's needed to get that set up for you. So that might be depending on what you're asking for. It might be something you can use FM Agent for. It might be something where we can look into a custom implementation to make sure you're compliant.
Awesome. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay. How will FM Agent respect the security permissions when doing searches?
Yeah, so FM Agent respects the privilege set of the user that is using it. So if you give it access to if you give FM Agent broadly access to certain data, but a user that is using FM Agent doesn't have access to a specific table you've configured, for instance, that user will not be able to query FM Agent to access that table. FM Agent works through the client, so anything that is restricted on the user level by FileMaker, FM Agent will respect.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. How secured is this AI within our system? For example, we track confidential, sensitive government data. Again, I think this is kind of a similar question to
Yeah,
the
I know.
previous one.
Yeah, I know data compliance can be a really complicated issue, which is why I would encourage you to schedule a meeting with us and we can talk through some of those nuances. As far as data security within FM Agent itself, like I mentioned, you have the opportunity in setup to opt out of any chat log storage. So you won't be able to revisit threads after you close FM Agent, but you still will be able to walk through things like I did today. So if you can't have any data stored outside of your FileMaker system, I'd encourage you to turn that setting off. But again, those regulations can be pretty complicated as we know. So I would encourage you to just get on my calendar and we can talk about it.
Awesome. Okay. Um, so this person says DB hosts our FileMaker. Will you be able to load that app for us?
Yeah, just reach out to if you've engaged us for development services, just reach out to your developer. If not, just yeah, reach out to us through standard channels, and we're happy to help you get FM Agent installed in your FileMaker app.
Awesome. Okay. Does this require the FileMaker server to be a public-facing server accessible over the internet?
No. So FM Agent works through like I mentioned before, FM Agent works through the client that is using it. And that's what helps us make it so plug and play, where you can just install it and people can use it. We don't need any backend access to your server through the data API or anything like that. So if you have an internal on-premises server that's not open to the internet, as long as users can connect to FileMaker, they can use FM Agent.
Okay. Um, you mentioned that this is not an AI development platform at this point. Is this potentially or definitely where you are heading in the future?
I won't make any promises there. We have a roadmap for the future of FM Agent, but I would just say we'll keep you posted on anything that we develop for FM Agent in the future.
Awesome. Okay. Um, does the AI agent support creating reports? If so, can the reports include product images, for example?
So in a loose sense, like the way you saw me use it today, it can give you some report type data. It's not going to do things like create new report layouts or export files at this point. No, if you have specific needs, I'd encourage you to reach out and we can work on a custom implementation to maybe get something like that for you in maybe your own version of FM Agent. But as of now, it's not going to do anything beyond give you data through that chat interface.
Okay. Um, we did have a question about different languages. Does this support any other languages besides English?
Right now, this has only been tested in English, so I would say feel free to try it. But right now, English is the language we tested it with.
Okay. And we've had a couple questions about this. Which AI service backs this plugin?
Right now, we're using OpenAI to back this plugin, but that's where it's kind of platform agnostic. So if that changes, you'll probably see something. But right now, it's OpenAI that backs it.
Okay. When creating a list of data, is there an export function, for example, like to Excel?
Uh, there's no export to Excel. The charts that I showed you earlier, so it can do like things like pie charts, timelines, bar charts, anything like that. Those are exportable. So if you generate one of those in FM Agent, just click on it and click the download button, and it'll download it to your machine. Um, but right now, there's no like you mentioned, Excel export or PDF export or anything like that.
Okay. Okay, this is a question about the free tier. Can we select the 5 tables that it accesses?
Yes, absolutely. That's part of the setup process and actually you're required to do that. So if you open the FM Agent setup panel, you'll see that it automatically pulls a list of your FileMaker tables, and then you can go and check those off for which ones you want FM Agent to be able to access. Yeah, so of course you can select the tables. That's a requirement to actually start using FM Agent. If you don't select the tables, you'll actually get a warning that says, "Hey, you haven't completed configuration."
Okay. Um, how do you verify the information is actually correct and not just producing data responses? Is there any way to click back to the original data or data set?
Yeah, so I mean, in your solution, yes, of course, you can go review the data. In the I mean, the nature of the data I was accessing before, I can pull up the FileMaker file if we want to, but it's going to be hard to verify sums like that. But I can verify for you here that those companies that we were accessing are actually real companies. So I think we were accessing Taylor LLC in one of those prompts. Um, we do have orders with those line items on them, right? So or I'm sorry, these are orders related to customers. We do have those orders and those order line items in this database. So FM Agent was accessing real data there. Um, and then I can also show you those products. And if I scroll through here, hopefully you'll see one of the ones that we accessed. Uh, but FM Agent, yeah, FM Agent was querying the data like it would in your database. I would encourage you to, download FM Agent and start using it in your database, and you'll see it's not spitting out like, hex bolts for products if that's not what your product is.
Okay. Um, can I throw a spreadsheet into the agent and have it compare to my database?
Right now, that's not a capability that FM Agent has. So not at this point. The answer is no.
Okay. Um, okay, this is a long question here. We have a multi-tenant solution with strict data separation between tenants. Can FileMaker or can FM Agent be configured to operate only within a specific tenant's data scope? In other words, can it be restricted so it never accesses or references data outside of the current tenant ID?
So that is a scenario that is fairly unique in the FileMaker space. I would encourage you to talk to us. We can build something that does that. In theory, if you had privilege sets that restricted access to certain records in your database, FM Agent would respect that. But I'd really encourage you to get a bespoke solution if that's the problem you're running into. So feel free to talk to us, and we can help you implement that.
Okay. Does FM Agent have capability to modify data or data structures? Can you use it to assist with script development, or is it just a read-only report generation? Which I
Uh,
think we kind of already answered that.
yeah,
No
at this
script
point, it's
development at
just
this
a
point.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, it's just a natural language data retrieval engine. We're not doing things like making layouts or doing scripts yet. It's not a developer copilot. This is mainly for users of FileMaker day to day.
Okay. What AI models does this connect to? We already answered that. Um, can FM Agent perform a task like sending an invoice, or is it more for data retrieval and analysis?
Yeah, right now the version you can download from our site is only for data retrieval and analysis. That being said, we've implemented custom systems with partners that do have the ability to actually take actions, like you're saying, send emails, for instance. If that's something you need in your solution, reach out and we can have a conversation about getting that implemented in your solution.
Okay, and then we did get a couple questions about different types of licenses for this. So like, will there be a developer license or nonprofit license available? Right now, we don't have that option. You can find our different pricing options on the FM Agent website under the pricing page. That is our pricing for now. In the future, not sure that it may happen, it may not. I can't speak for sure to that. But as of this moment, no, we do not have a developer license or a nonprofit license.
And you've heard me
Um,
say it a lot today. FileMaker being a custom platform, there's going to be a lot of different use cases and needs for FM Agent. So I hate to say it again, but feel free to reach out and just get on my calendar. I'd love to have those conversations with anybody that needs a kind of a more custom solution than we can offer at this point.
Perfect. Does this work with WebDirect?
Um, it technically should work with WebDirect, but it hasn't been extensively tested in WebDirect. So yeah, I guess that's the answer there. So yeah, if you use WebDirect extensively, you might want to reach out if FM Agent isn't working for you, and we can help make some improvements. But right now, we haven't done extensive testing in WebDirect.
Okay. And I think we just have time for one more question. So apologies if we did not get to your question. Please feel free to reach out to us at dbservices.com or fmagent.com and we can answer your question offline. But our last question here that we're going to get to is, can this be used with FileMaker Go on an iPad or phone?
Yes, absolutely. So FM Go, we have done some testing on FM Agent. It should work just the same as FileMaker Pro. So if you have an FM Go application on iPhone or iPad, or I think those are the devices that FM Go's for, yes, FM Agent will work on those.
Awesome. Okay. Um, and I know I'm still seeing people say they still haven't gotten their download. You will get your download, we promise. it's very backed up right now. We had a ton of people download all at the same time, so it's going a little slow. But you will get your download. Um, we will, we're going to work on that offline, make sure everybody gets that once we sign off here. So you will get it. Don't worry. And this will also be available. This recording will be available tomorrow for everyone who registered. So you will, if you missed part of it, you will be able to watch it again if you'd like. Um, well, thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for all your questions. Um, a huge thank you to Sam for helping to develop this and sharing all of this with us today. Again, if you have any questions or any issues, please feel free to reach out to us at fmagent.com or at dbservices.com. We will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you, everyone, again, and have a great day.